it's a multitude of different things for me. Like in the way I've interpreted a lot of different things. So that's why I'm like because first of all, not even just Christianity, but
I think we're technically live.
Oh, for real?
You know,
I didn't get
it. I didn't want you to be like, yeah, so fuck these niggas to be here.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, that's your shit. Look,
yo, he always do that. He got his yellow, but he ain't want to get counted yellow. Punk ass bitch.
So you know what's funny? I usually put my shit right here. Yo, fam, I'm so tired. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so tired. Oh. Hey, Mama, close the door real quick for me. Thank you, baby. How you feeling? Good?
Hold up. He was making a point, and I really do want him to finish before you start screaming. Go ahead.
He knew it was coming! This dirty bitch! He knew it!
Finish your point, yo.
But
I'm gonna let you finish. Oh shit! God damn, this motherfucker JS1 goddamn no goddamn what's be going on and shit. Fuck, I wanted to catch this motherfucker.
He started screaming, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, he screamed and gave me the shits.
Not safe it is. We are live with a homie of mine.
Yeah.
A plug of an extension cord of an outlet plug.
My nigga.
Because he don't like being called a plug.
Nah.
Let's give him a hand clap. JS1, the motherfucking supplier, man.
Do we
Thank
start
you
with
so
a slow
much for
hand
coming
clap and then go?
We can if you.
No,
we gotta do it.
That's how y'all know y'all used to play organized sports. That's how I know y'all got the hand clap slow to the fast shit down. Like.
So I don't like to point out problems, but if you are watching this video and I put some clips up, you're gonna notice the resolution isn't the same. Some shit happened. Don't worry, we still got the audio nice and crisp, and we still got the reason why we're putting this show on today, regardless.
Boom.
Yeah. So like, but if you notice that the dark skinned people, we are real clear. And then he's fuzzy as shit. Look, if you look at the pixelization on his face, it's real jacked up.
That's that light skin
like,
shit.
yo, it almost looked like a Instagram.
Like,
it looks like an Instagram thing, like you know, we put the little effect on it. You just got an Instagram effect on your face. But we nice and clear. We nice and clear over here. You know,
and it's about time.
It's all good. You know what I mean?
It's about time that y'all get y'all due, yo.
I for real.
It's colorism
Look,
is a real
you got
thing.
Drake. We just have clear. We have clear skin. Like you know what I mean?
So as you can already see, why the fuck I brought this motherfucker on.
All right, my bad.
No, ain't my bad.
Ain't my bad.
Exactly
My bad. What?
I don't want to get in trouble. Like,
So,
ain't no time
first of all,
it's your show. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Hey,
let
look, you know the name of the show.
It's not safe. It is.
So
Not
let's
safe.
fucking
Yes.
work, man.
That's
We
a
out
fact.
here.
The fuck is that? Who phone is that?
Oh my bad, yo! I gotta put that shit on.
This nigga.
I thought I put this
yo,
shit on
I
silent.
thought a nigga was creeping. I thought a nigga tapped into our shit. I was like,
Hopefully
man,
those
what?
can.
Spanish niggas done ran through the crib.
Hey Mo, we all good? Yeah, I guess he's out there. So not only do we hear some audio on the phone that wasn't turned off, that's the first time. That's kind of cool though.
It was funny.
Nah, that's all good. It was also in Espanol.
You know what it was? It was the notification that this was live.
And it came out in Spanish?
No, nigga.
Oh.
That's my. I got
It said
I
live
use
or-
narco, like little narco clips.
Oh,
for
I
my
got
sound.
it. Gangsta. So, a little bit back when I know you from a while, I got to meet you, and I talked about this a little bit off camera on your podcast.
Facts.
So it was a time like us all. We had many different passions and goals and dreams, and they still kind of go. But I used to want to be a rapper and audio engineer.
Oh boy.
Matter of fact, by the time I came across you, I really wasn't in it. I still appreciated hip hop and the art form in that way.
You.
So it was a show. At the time it was my homeboy Goldie. We call him Mike JR right now. He real heavy with Mark.
Right. I know him.
Yeah. So
Tall nigga.
producing and all that, and we ended up meeting by accident at one of your shows that you put on. And I believe it was Stars. It was Ashley. And it was the dude, God damn, I forgot your name. Al the Great.
Got you.
I thought he was real dope too. And of course Greenspan.
Got you.
So
Got you.
I saw you up there and I saw you doing your thing. I didn't know who you was.
Word.
But I knew you was on the fly.
I didn't know
and
who
I saw
I
you doing
was.
your thing. I guess you never really know who
You never know who you are.
So I'm like, okay, he seems like that guy to know. And at the time, like I said, I wasn't really in the industry like I used to be. So it wasn't like, oh, I gotta meet him, try to get my demo to him. But it was like, okay, I see what he's doing. And then years later, I came across some more of your media. And more importantly, someone put me on to this, and I think it was Greenspan. Let me hold that real quick. And this is the Baltimore Media Coalition.
Correct.
Greenspan came on with my homeboy DDM, and he shot me a DM, and he was like, "Yo, you gotta check this shit out. Like, this is something you gotta check out, especially if you're trying to do this media shit." Because every time we have somebody come to the show, it's like, look, what ways can I help you? Vice versa. what we're trying to do, the overall goal. And he was like, you got to check this shit out. So fast forward to the Baltimore Cultural Arts Center. And I'm sitting down with my homeboy Diamond, who's also a promoter of these parties we host. And you have this dope ass stage. You got 100 grand man. What's that 100 man? You can't just show them off.
That's my OG, man. 100 grand man. That's definitely my OG.
Get it right, nigga.
You had a wonderful, well-educated dais, and I felt like, I believe it was free too. Yeah, we weren't paying yet. We weren't paying like the brunch prices and all that, which still ain't nothing.
Still ain't nothing. It's a little $10.
But the amount of knowledge I got, the networking opportunities I got, and just the overall feel of like camaraderie in Baltimore, which is opposite of what a lot of people try to put out there.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is some dope ass shit. And I didn't know you. And I still don't know you. We don't know me. I don't know, you know. But it was like, yo, this dude,
Nigga,
I hope he ain't a snake, right?
You better
What
know
I'm saying,
me.
I know you, right? But you might like a finger in your butt or something.
Yo, should I leave?
you
Y'all
little
seem like y'all got something
You
to work
got
on.
bad. You right. I ain't had to go
I'm
that
fuck
way.
Nick up.
You might like cut goat throats or something and do some voodoo shit. I never knew about it. Who knows?
Okay.
That's not Paul. You cut
said
a goat
goat
throat.
throats. I don't know.
Yo, he can't even talk about throats.
Yeah, I was saying.
Anyways,
I
I felt what you was doing, and I was like, damn. I almost felt like it was like an undiscovered gem. Like, oh shit, what the fuck? Do people know that
You go to
in
the gym?
Baltimore? I used to. You know, but you talk to a mother right here. Look, you finish here.
No, bitch, he don't come for me like you did.
let me tell you, I'm the worst. I got a whole gym membership and went like 2 times.
We gotta get you back in there, dog, because you got a lot of natural strength. Anyway, you're doing something great for the community, entertainment community, for the Baltimore community, for all communities. So, why the fuck do you do this?
Ooh,
That's a great
What's your
question.
why?
That was a whole lot of setup too. Like,
Whole
that
lot
was
of
a real setup.
that
man.
was a crazy setup. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know where he was going. I was just enjoying the story.
Right. Nobody. You
Talk
never
about me
saw
some
the
more.
bowling ball
Right.
coming down the alley.
Nope, not at all. So,
Talk about me some more.
yeah, right. Go ahead. I mean, like, bottom line is, I started out an artist, back in the '90s, and then I transitioned into doing radio in 2007.
What station?
My own.
Okay.
I started out VBC Radio from the beginning, only because I didn't have any ends into any other stuff. Like I think the determination that I preach to other people is like stuff that I had to develop. So like if I had really used my brain, I probably could have finessed my way into like a community station or something else, back in 2007. But I was way more. I'm not gonna say insecure, but I was way more like, I ain't begging nobody for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to do it on my own. Like, you know what I mean? And then I'm surrounded by homies that, at the time that were just super duper supportive. So, like, and I was living in Caucasia. So all of my homies was pretty much white. So, like,
Where's Caucasian? I heard that twice now.
Caucasian? That's to me.
Suburbs, but also.
It's any area that's predominantly white people.
Okay.
So, like, when you know what I'm saying, or when you go over to a friend's house and it's all white people there, you in Caucasian, you have just entered into Caucasian. When you start looking around and ain't no other niggas around, or it's just you and one other dude and y'all just saluting each other, have no idea who you are, but you like, I see you, just in case you need me, I need you, we good. You know what I'm saying? You in the midst of Caucasia. Like, there's a whole, because and I only call it Caucasian because when you're in that environment where it's all white people, they have a different way of moving. Like they think, and as a collective, they think and they move differently. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So like their idea of a party is, let's go get some pizzas, let's get a keg, and who's got the coke? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or weed, or we're gonna do whippets, or we're gonna they find any weird thing, and then they'll just sit around and talk.
And they talk about a lot of different shit too.
For hours. The joint will start at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and 6 o'clock the next morning, niggas will still be sitting. If like I used to live with 4 white guys, like, you know what I'm saying, my peoples, and then like they had a garage. Yo, I would go to sleep, and I'll wake up in the morning, they be still sitting in my garage, smoking, drinking, smoking Marlboros, and just chilling. Like, that's Caucasian. They didn't need fly clothes. They don't need expensive Jordans. They don't need $300. Niggas are coming.
They don't need a VIP table.
They don't need a VIP table. They wouldn't even know what the fuck a VIP table is. That's not even their vibe. It's like for them, it's all about just getting together and sharing experiences. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get that fine girl Stacy to come over because everybody want to shoot their shot. And it's like, yo, that's what they about. And and living in Caucasia was just different. And because I was a well-spoken black person, which is like, you know, that kind of like mystical, magical Negro shit. They would all be like, dude, like, you are awesome, man. Like, yeah. So what are you going to do? A radio station? We want to help. Like, what can we do?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know how to build websites. Oh, man, we'll build it. Yeah. And then it'll be like, well, I don't know how to stream or put stuff online or, you know what I mean? And then like anything I didn't know, they would either do for me or they would teach me.
Right.
That's dope.
And then everything they would do for me, they would still teach me. So like my homeboy, one of my best friends, taught me how to build websites. You know what I mean? He taught me how to stream stuff live. Like he taught me how to understand what the internet was and how it functioned and all that stuff like that. So like, I hope I don't mind going too long on the story.
Is cool.
Look, bro.
But-
do your thing.
But back to what you were saying.
But at the end of the day, I got into it. It was 2007. You know what I'm saying? Like around February, early March. And I only remember because my other best friend, homeboy, I was the best man at his wedding. So we had recorded the first episode. It was technically a podcast. So it was pre-recorded, and then I uploaded it to a website that we designed. And then it had like a little player that I had to pay for it and shit. Because back then there was no, you know, SoundClouds or
Right, and all
there
that
was
shit,
none of
yeah.
that shit. There was not even MySpace at that point. You know what I mean? So I had to go and buy this little flash player so people can plush play and listen to the audio. So and I remember trying to get that $30 together. It was a bitch. So anyway, got that, put it online, started just texting all of my family and my friends and being like, yo, I got this, yo, just press play, you know, go listen to it and tell me what you think.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of my conversations when I would call my friends back then, because this is pre-social media and pre-smartphones. It's like you want to talk to a homie, you got to call that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right. You want to, and then you had unlimited nights, but then you had to pay for the days or whatever. And the text messages was 400 text messages. Shit. And you would think that's only like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. It's not even that long for real. But it's how much stuff has changed. So like I'm living in Atlanta. Most of my homies is in Baltimore. So like we used to always sit around and talk. So this was like they could hit me and be like, yo, it's just like you here. They listening to the conversation and they be like, nigga, you wild, nigga. You always been wild. I always been saying wild shit, even back then. So like it just became a thing where they just fell in love with it. Like, and they be like, you know how niggas is, as soon as they listen to the first one, when you gonna do the next one? And I'd be like, shit, I gotta do another one? All right, cool. So then me and my homeboy just set up, and I have a natural business mind. I come from a family of business people. So I immediately, after people started giving me good responses, I got with my best friend, one of my business partners. I had 3 business partners at the time. Brandon Key, he was like pretty much the web designer for like 2 weeks. And then, you know what I'm saying? But he's always around. And then my other guy, Matt. You know what I'm saying? He was DJ Channel Log at the time. So he was my DJ. I was rapping, he was my DJ. And then like I was teaching him how to produce and we was just kind of creating stuff. So he was like the DJ on the show. My guy Brandon was doing all the website stuff. And then I, you know, did everything else, recording the audio, uploading it, whatever. So we just started jamming like every 2 weeks. I was like, I couldn't wrap my mind around doing something every week because we were so busy trying to still rap. We was doing events. We was moving around, and of course we had the house parties, we had to get drunk, do what we had to do. So every 2 weeks became the thing. So every 2 weeks I would record it, upload it, post it. And then I went to my homeboy's wedding, and then that's all niggas was talking about. Like, yo, nigga, that shit was crazy what you said on the show, nigga. And you said this shit about Lauryn Hill, nigga. You fucked up for that shit. And
your homeboy's wedding in Atlanta or in Baltimore?
No, his wedding was in Vegas.
And so
I had to fly out there to Vegas, and then all the homies is out there, and we all talking about that shit at the wedding.
That's dope.
So dope. we re-arguing stuff that I was saying on the show, and I'm just like, I don't care. I forgot about half that shit. Right. And that's another problem I have. I will say shit and forget I said that shit, and then I would get out there, and then it'd just be a whole nother thing, and I was just like, wow. So like it just after that, once I feel like something is working, I just immediately started. And then that's when I kind of discovered MySpace. We set up MySpace page for the BBC Radio. I set up a MySpace page for myself. And then I started reaching out to other friends. So, like, back when I was rapping full-time, I met a guy that was working for a radio station. And then, like, I found him on MySpace. And he had told me, I linked up. And he was like, yo, I'm not working at that radio station no more. And I was like, do you want to do radio? And he was just like, he's like, I've been wanting to get back. And that's my man Mastermind. So he ended up being my second show. So then I had another homeboy, like, you know what I'm saying, another white dude living Caucasian, my man Dave. I known him for a long time, and like he's just always been a different type of gothy guy. You know what I mean? He just had a completely different vibe. And I was thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking I want to touch mad audiences. I don't want to just be all rap. So I was like, I'm already the rap nigga. Right. So then my man Mastermind, he like the top 40 shit. And then I was like, I brought in my man Dave because I knew Dave was going to get them out there weird white people, and then he wanted to do a show all about like alternative lifestyle shit, like you know, trainees and like, you know, like BDSM and, you know, doms and lesbians and like guys that want to wear diapers and all that shit like that. So like he literally started his show, and then so like we would all do every 2 weeks, but it broke out to where every week there was a new show, and it was just different subjects, and I just started building from there.
Real quick, don't hold your hand on the mic when you hold. There you go. Last week it was like, I was like, oh shit, let me tell him about that.
That's a fact.
Something to say, though?
Thought I was a rapper.
No, so
sometimes you gotta do that.
you weren't so boom. It wasn't that you was just. It seems like you were very. You were a planner, like you said. You had a family, you were business minded, and once you realized you had something going, you ain't just go with the flow. You say, okay, shit, let me diversify the audience. Let me make sure I'm pulling all the people. So you was legit trying to make a radio station outside a radio station because you was like, fuck them, I'm gonna do it myself.
Facts.
Completely doing that. How long did you do that?
Completely doing the ass backwards and upside down for like 6-7 years. So like I didn't think about. I didn't think. First of all, I didn't know I was doing a podcast.
Right.
So because I didn't know I was doing a podcast and I didn't understand what a podcast was, I never took it to iTunes like I should.
Was that term even out yet?
That term was out, but it was really a Caucasian thing in the Caucasian world. And I had tech friends, and they kind of would tell me, you technically kind of doing a podcast, but I kind of would be like, all right, whatever, I'm doing what I'm doing. And I never equated what they were doing with what I was doing. And subsequently, I should have put all of this stuff on iTunes. But I didn't. You know what I mean? I think there might have been 1 or 2 times when I had kind of started putting stuff up there, but I really didn't understand. And when things kind of started, it would get glitchy from time to time. I just dropped it, you know. But if I had kept that stuff on iTunes, if I had really tried to get a real understanding, because I was a creative and I was in my creative space, so I was just kind of creating shows, producing. Like I'm a producer at heart, so I'll take anybody's idea and like turn it into something. But I wasn't thinking about the business as much as I should have. We were just thinking about creating, and I was thinking radio makes money off of advertising, so we just need to build up enough audience so the advertisers will come to us. So that was my only focus. Go ahead.
Podcast probably still had somewhat of not a negative connotation, but like you said, it was just outside of the mainstream.
Yeah, it was outside.
But
there was a huge,
because you still heard radio. Audience. Radio felt like it was above there in podcasting or anything below.
Right.
Yeah.
In reality, it was on its way up.
It was on its way up, and there was a huge audience for podcasting even back then. You know what I'm saying? Like there were people that were creating. I mean, it was mostly like what you would define as nerd talk, which would be like video games and video games, comic books, and very niche.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like my homeboy, my best friend, he had a powerful computer and be online, and he would listen to podcasts because it would help him figure out the little games that he was on. Not like get video games like Nintendo, but you talking about games where you create whole life. You know what I mean? Where you can create a person and grow it into adult. I mean, there's so much deep shit in the video game world that they have whole communities for that shit. You know, and they make money. Like, you know, man, my homeboy used to make real money off of just video games, and I never understood that shit. But anyway, I'm still back in let me build my radio station. And then it was like, I need to start getting real interviews. Like, my shit is only gonna grow so then I started, and my whole heart was like, even though living in Atlanta, I still had a huge love for Baltimore. So I was like reaching out to Boss Man. You know what I'm saying? I reached out to Boss Man, Mully Man, Tim Trees. I got all of their interviews. They all, you know what I'm saying? I never interviewed Paula Campbell, but my man Mastermind interviewed Paula Campbell because he fell in love with her early. And then like that was my way of really keeping connected to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time I'm down there, I'm following all of the Baltimore artists on their MySpace pages. I'm playing their music on my show. And then like, you know what I'm saying? And then my homeboy Matt, he was playing Atlanta music because he's from Atlanta. Like, and so it was just like a lot of that. You know what I mean? And then I started reaching out to different people like Adina Howard. Technically, Adina Howard was my first interview. I was so nervous. So nervous. Oh my God. I was talking way too fast. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was giddy a little bit, but she was comfortable. Like, and she was surprisingly very gentle and nice to me on the phone.
It seems like that.
You know what I mean? And like, if you want to go back and listen to it, you can go on our YouTube channel. It's like way back early because it's hundreds of videos on
What channel is that?
The VVC Life. Okay. So if you go to youtube.com/VVC Life or VVCLife.com, then it'll show you all of our videos and you can go back. So my second one was Yellow Wolf. And this was back way before Yellow Wolf got signed. Like, I remember when Yellow Wolf was signed to KP Prathers, who managed Well, first of all, he was a part of a rap group. Then he started managing different artists like Young Bloods and stuff like that. So he took on Yellow Wolf.
Taking it back.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
So then, like, I met Yellow Wolf because he was doing the indie scene. But once again, he was dealing on the Caucasian side. Like, black, niggas wasn't really fucking with white. Some white rapper with tattoos all over his body. Right. This was way back before tattooing became crazy like that. Right. So he was tattooed from head to toe back then. Long hair. Technically, he's half white, half Indian. Like, he looked like a rocker. Right, but he was an MC. Like, he was a crazy MC. Right. So, like, I kind of fell in love with him, because he was just in that scene.
Fam,
I know.
You gotta
I
say
know.
pause.
I know.
And if you're gay, it's cool. I don't think you're gay.
Whoa.
But listen,
is that what we said?
You ain't gotta say pause. He's like, I had a good ass day, boy. Pause. I don't have no good ass days. You good, baby? You all right?
So anyway, so we like that. Jody Breeze from Boys in the Hood and different stuff like that. And I ended up linking up with different artists. I ended up linking up with Young Bloods and doing a show together. We linked up with Bone Crusher and we did a show with Bone Crusher. All that. I got video of all of that stuff on the channel. Just building. And then we eventually moved from a living room to a garage, from a garage to my house, and then from the house that I was living in to an office space. And then like we was rocking once we got the office space. But once again, I was having a problem generating income. And it was just like and believe it or not, it was a lot of work because I think we had got up to like 12 shows in that office at one time. But I didn't think about putting people, I didn't think about charging people for the time slots. I was just trying to bring people in and have them do the shows. The problem with that is that people wouldn't take it serious. So they would get excited, come and do a show, and then after a month and a half, 2 months, it's like, oh, it's a lot of work. I gotta come back again? Like, yeah, it's every week. You gotta do your show every week. They wouldn't be prepared. Some people would come in and be trash. You know what I mean? Like, my upper echelon shows were really like my friends. Like, Mastermind is my friend. So he loved radio. So, like, his shows were themed out. Every episode had a different theme to it. You know what I mean? And then he had the music brought in. Like, he was so polished. Certified was the same way. Right. So, like, my top 3 shows, and then my show, and then Matt used to do his own DJ joint every week. So, like, he would do a DJ mix and then put it up. So, those 4 shows were always tight. The rest of the shows were always kind of like they come in for a couple months, then they fall off. Another nigga come in for a couple months, they fall off. And it was getting frustrating because we couldn't get momentum because it would be like, now we had momentum on these 4 shows, but the rest of it would be crazy. You know what I mean? It would be like a revolving door, idiots just coming in and out. But it is what it is. Like, we ended up losing that office space.
Because of not considering overhead versus talent acquisition.
Not knowing how to create overhead out of it, because I was stuck in this mind frame of the only way we can make money is selling advertising. And I did not want to charge artists for interviews. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be the person to charge people for time slots, which I didn't even think of something that you could do at one point in time, which I eventually ended up how my VVC became successful in Baltimore, because we actually started charging people to do their time slots. And not only did it make the station financially stable, but it forced the people that were doing the shows to be serious about what they're doing.
Because they were spending money on it.
Spending money. Yeah, and then, like, once they started spending money, then people started doing their own flyers. They started coming in with show structures. It's because, like you said, they invest in their own bread. Now they're going to be serious. Then I started signing people to contracts, because then I'm like, damn, so somebody might come here for 2 or 3 or 4 months, and then the show might be great, but then they stop. So, like, now you had to sign people to contracts only because you need to know for this certain time period that you're going to be guaranteed to have this money. Right. So that way I can focus on doing other stuff like the magazines and the events and stuff like that. So a lot of the beginning stuff as far as like learning how to run the station was done in Atlanta. Me learning how to make it financially stable was something that happened in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? And I credit my old her title was business manager, but she really wasn't. She was more like a partner, you know what I'm saying, like a homie or whatever. She, like, her and I really spent a lot of time working together, figuring it out and making stuff happen. And she did her job in certain ways and then didn't do her job in other ways. But, you know what I mean, I always credit her for being there, like, because at that time when we were fighting to become number 1 in the city, like, she was like the only person I knew I could count on a day-to-day basis that were like, we would get out there, she would push me out there. I used to hate being out in the public, dog. I hate parties. I hate meeting people. Like, I don't like that shit.
That's crazy. So all right, so first of all, somebody remember that part, the meeting part.
Yeah.
Because it seems like you're very articulate and you can talk easily.
Yeah.
Like myself, but I think we have a parallel with people think I like people, and I really don't.
That's
like,
a fact.
I don't mind people, and I like making people happy and laugh, but I'd rather go just watch movies all day.
That's a fact.
And do something else and chill
That's
with
a
my
fact.
lady. You know,
eat ass.
they call it an ambivert almost. Like, I'm not an extrovert or introvert. I'm somewhere in between, depending on my mood every
Right,
day. But more importantly, back to what you were saying, how many years was it when you first started your thing in Atlanta and you was chilling with your homeboys in the cul-de-sac and they were helping you build it, and then you get to the point when you have that office space? How long did that take?
Like 3 years.
Off top, you've already doubled the amount of time usually most people start and stop something.
Right.
Like, first, I'm going to do this, ha, and then 2 or 3 months later, the
not what they thought
the
it
page
was.
is gone. They ain't putting no new.
Yeah.
So it seems like if one little bit of advice you can give somebody, it's like it's not gonna happen overnight, and you're going to take falls.
That's
and
gonna tap into what we were talking about earlier. So we can.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, whenever y'all want to go into that, but like the point I wanted to make is that like I was having fun. Like me and my boy Matt, it was like we would get together, we get some beers, we get a pack of Newport regulars, we get, you know what I'm saying, some liquor or whatever. And that was our time to really just chop it up between us. Talk about the new music that came out. Talk about the artists that we saw online or whatever. Because Matt and I are huge music fans.
Right.
And the crazy part is we came from 2 completely different worlds. Because once again, he comes from Caucasia. So like his favorite underground hip hop is like POS, and there's like this whole world of like these underground artists. Like he introduced me to MF Doom and like all of these different alternative hip hop artists. There are
almost like
tons.
punk, rap.
Yeah, but no, they went straight hip hop. These are like hardcore
punk
samples.
is in, like, you know how punk is like it could be these little communities that no one
Correct.
knows about.
That nobody knows
Word
about.
of mouth.
Right,
You got some
right.
merch that you had to buy almost
Right,
extra. It's
right.
not like you buy it in Walmart.
That's a fact. So like he introduced me to all of these like dope little Caucasian rap. I'm
Right.
not gonna say little, but dope Caucasian rappers from around the country.
Right.
He introduced me to a lot of that super underground stuff that I knew nothing about, and I'm introducing him to, and it's like blowing my mind. I'm like, yo, you never listen to Mobb Deep, my nigga? Like you never listen to, you know what I'm saying? Like Capone Noriega, and you know what I'm saying? And this and that and that.
Right.
So I'm like introducing him to that shit. You know what I mean? Which is more northern style hip hop music, you know, and I'm introducing more streamlined. What we define as streamlined, and then he's introducing me to what he felt was streamlined, and then like, you know, there's like this big fat white dude from the South called Haystack that was popping in the South. Like she introduced me to that. So it's like, yo, I'm learning about those shows were pretty much us talking and exchanging like our experiences with hip hop, and it was so. I felt like it was so compelling how different his experience was with a genre of music that I thought was very simple in us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you didn't have the same hip hop experience I had.
That's crazy.
And it's like deep because I'm like, yo, tell me again about these niggas that you. And he's playing records and I'm playing records, and we are both surprising each other and educating each other about these. Like, once again, I thought hip hop was just this in this box.
Right.
It's just this.
Your top 20, whatever that is.
Right.
Your top 10.
And then he think hip hop for him is just this.
Right.
And then when we meet each other,
And then you merge the 2 boxes, and
it's
next
just
thing you know,
like,
you
yo,
got a bigger,
boom, it's a whole different
world.
world,
Uh-huh.
bro. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And I'm learning from him about the indie world, like how dudes are making a living, not like a couple dollars. Like these dudes are making hundreds of thousands of dollars independently and touring the world. You know what I'm saying? With no record deals, no radio play, no public recognition. You know what I'm saying? Like. And we talking about Tech 9 level stuff, you know what I mean? But not Tech 9. It'd be like Insane Clown Posse and different stuff like that, which I heard of ICP, but who had ever listened to an ICP album? Well, when I'm living in Caucasia, that's what they rocking that shit. Like, and it's real for them. And like, they are passionate the same way we are passionate about our Nas's and they passionate about their Insane Clown Posses and this and that. And it means something to them the same way our artists mean something to us. So like, to me, that was a journey. And then also dealing with Atlanta's burgeoning. Well, Atlanta was already dominant, but the next generation that was evolving out of that, you know what I'm saying, was just a whole different thing. And I was just there watching Atlanta prepare itself to be what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing all of the business moves and all of the artists coming on. I'm seeing them build these big mega studios, and you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing Travis Porter. Like, I was close to Travis Porter. I don't know if you remember, there's a rap group. It's 3 young kids named Travis Porter, and they put out some records. They went national. They got a big record deal. Well, I remember when they used to have like they was renting a room in like a little office building. They put a studio in there, smoked weed all day, recorded records. They was little 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, bro. And he had a little white manager. And they took their shit serious. They would take their little $300 for the shows. They would come out, tear it down, you know what I'm saying, put out mixtapes, and they would take their money they make and burn up mad CDs. They wouldn't even give a fuck about making money.
Yeah,
they would just give out thousands of CDs.
So,
but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I think I'm getting off track.
No. See, I really wanted you have a wealth of fucking knowledge. When I put that in the comments, I meant this. Someone's going to see this, and if they take the time to listen, they're going to learn a lot. So, please don't say sorry anymore. We're sitting here listening and learning.
Okay, cool. So, I just want to make sure that we get every point that we want to get to.
Right, it's almost impossible to do that if you really consider how long you've been doing it.
Exactly.
We only got
especially if you've been in the game for 20 years.
I'm not even into the fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving you timeline and specifics. So go ahead.
VVC and 1500. How are they related?
All right, so we had our office on Maryland Avenue.
Okay.
My man, shout out to my man Ron Dreams. That's like he was an artist that I interviewed, and then like he used to just DM me music all the time. Like, yo, here's the SoundCloud link, check this out. And I liked his determination. I liked how, like, when I would tell people, yo, sign, because there was a time when VVC Radio had like a social network component to it where you could sign up, have an account, and then I would tell artists, sign up, post your music, and if you post your music, I'll play it. Period. So, like, you know what I mean? Because I just wanted to drive traffic to the website so that people can, this is before I had an app, so I could get people to listen to the station. So he was one of those people that signed up on the site, and he kept posting music. So, and I would play it. He would call in and say, yo, thank you for playing my record. And I'd be like, damn, like, niggas don't, because believe it or not, niggas don't do that. People they'll come in and drop a link, and then you'll never hear from them again. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to have him listen to the show, and then, like, after I played the record, for him to call in, it was genuine. So, like, I built a relationship with him. Long story short, he was like, yo, y'all moving into this office. I got a homeboy that want to do a show. Is it cool if I introduce y'all? So, Ron introduced me to Phil. And then, like, yo, Phil came, sat down with me and shit. And, like, he's an Aries, and, like, I'm an Aries. So, it was kind of like, yo, nigga, all right, cool, you cool. He's serious about his shit. I'm serious about my shit. You know what I mean? Whatever. I always knew he was a little crazy, a little wild. But I'm like, you know, I told him, like, oh, as long as you keep the crazy in check, we good. So, he started his show, 1500 Radio. He was like, I want to bring 1500 Radio. You know, I want to do it here. And he even told me, like, eventually I want to start my own shit. I said, cool. The only thing I told him, yo, don't rush it. Take your time. Get here, get comfortable, learn what it's like to run a dope show first. And then, like, watch what I'm doing. And, like, everything will come. I said, but don't, you know what I mean? Because he was like, yo, show me how to set up a website tomorrow. And, like, what is it going to take to stream? And I'll be like, yo, learn how to do the show first. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, don't put the cart before the horse. And then, like, yo, he rocked out with me for, like, almost 6 months. I think it was 6 months to a year, something like that. And then we had a falling out because, you know, he decided that he wanted to move on and do, he wanted to move on and create a station or whatever. But I was just like in the middle of moving from that office to the bigger one on Charles Street. And I was trying to get him to be patient, but he wasn't. And then he ended up doing something that kind of like irritated me. So like we kind of had a little small falling out. And then like, you know what I'm saying, he left. But he was always very respectful. Like, when we had our falling out, I think I was more upset, and he was just kind of, like, trying to explain to me what it was, but I was in my low feelings at the moment. So he was just, like, he kept it respectful and was like, all right, so I'll bow out. Like, I don't want no problems, you know what I mean? And he just dipped off. And it wasn't no bitch shit. He was just like, I see that you upset. If you put him next to me, he's, like, mad taller than me. So he's like, look, nigga, I don't want to knock your ass off. So let me let your ass be mad and chill.
He just didn't want to have no bad blood. He wanted to still keep that love.
Yeah, he wanted to keep the love and shit. And then, like, after he left, he kept supporting what I was doing. Like, it wasn't no petty shit. It was just like, yo, he would still like the photos, and you know what I'm saying? He would holler at me from time to time and be like, yo, let me ask you a question. I'm like, nigga, why you calling me, asking me questions? I'd be like, all right, nigga, what you want to know? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right. And it just got to a point where, you know, he just kept being genuine, and I just like had to let it go. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we just maintained our friendship. And then like, as I kind of grew to my pinnacle as far as like us being as popular as a radio station, he would come around and he would always say the same shit. Yeah, yo, you lit, bro. Like, you did it. And I said, I haven't done anything. And he be looking at me crazy. Like, what you mean? I said, I haven't done nothing now. I said, yo, I just got to the place where we can work. You know what I'm saying? But you making all this money. You got all these shows. And I said, no, bro. I said, I'm here. I said, I'm to the place now where we can start the fight. You know what I'm saying? I said, I just got off my back, off my knees, and on my feet. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I like mixed martial arts shit. You know, just give y'all a little reference point. So, you know what I mean? So, where now we can begin to fight. You know what I mean? And he never understood that because he was just like, nah, Joe, when I get here, it's going to be all, you know, and I'm like, all right, bro. And then, like, that's how a lot of our conversations would go because he was still kind of getting it together. but he would just see all of this activity and just felt like this is a success. And I'm just like, nah, we ain't even got to that point. But now it's funny because now he'll call me and be like, I understand what the hell you talking about now. And I used to complain about certain people. He would just be like, yo, you so right. Like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, I told you. Like, it just takes time. You know what I mean? Right. And you got to understand that just because you're making money, that's not success. You know what I mean? That's just stability. So, like, you know, and then you can only stay in one place for so long because what happens? Like, I knew what was happening. I would tell my team all the time, like, all right, we've just showed people a new formula for business, how to run an internet radio station and how to make it popular. We only got a certain, I used to literally tell my team this. I'd be like, yo, we have 6 months before somebody takes this whole concept and they're going to flip it and they're going to have more money than me and they're going to do it better than us. We got to keep pushing. That's why I used to be real adamant about like, yo, we got to drop the magazines. All right, now we need to have 2 radio stations. And then it was like, yo, I need to have 3 radio stations. And then I was like, yo, we need to do an app. I said I expanded the app to have like a jazz station that was 24 hours. I think at our pinnacle point, I had a jazz radio station. I had a Baltimore station that played nothing but Baltimore hip hop 24 hours a day. I had VVC radio. I had met up with Moose right when he got out of jail. We started OTM radio where we was playing like his records. It was almost like I looked at Moose like he's my Eminem. So this is my shady radio. So OTM radio was like kind of like my, yo, this is the biggest artist in the city. Here's your radio station with your music and people that you fuck with. And then like Lil Jetta came on the host of that. So that's where my vision was. And then I started linking up with people all around the country. So I started reaching out to niggas in Houston. Started reaching out to niggas in Atlanta and being like, yo, you got a radio station, but you ain't got no app. So look, I'm going to put your stream on my app and just promote my app. So that now I can push past 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 downloads. You know what I mean? And then like that was one of my bigger visions. You know what I'm saying? And then having that 24-hour show lineup as far as like Love the Culture in the morning. You know what I'm saying? From 8 to like 11, and then have I think who the fuck was coming behind that? And then we had another chick come right behind that. You know what I'm saying? And then there was another show coming right behind that. To where like you'd have a real like radio station, you know, from morning to afternoon all the way until 11 to 12 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? So then it was like, once we started that, things really started taking off. But, you know, first of all, it's hard to maintain that level of work without having enough money to pay for a real staff to manage that. The second thing is, I'm the older person, and I understand that the work just beginning, but then when you get younger people around, and these are all 20, most of my
gratification.
Right, that 21 to 25 or 24, the 21 to 28-year-olds that was the majority of my staff, when we start winning, they lose their mind. Oh, yeah, we lit. Yeah. Oh, man, we done put in 6 months worth of work. All right, Leo, let's take some time off. No, nigga, this ain't time to take a time. No, it's time to grind, nigga. Let's dig in. No. So, like, you know what I'm saying, one of my most important shows, you know, them niggas came to me in 3 different meetings, and they was like, yo, we taking a month off. I'm like, nah, it's 4 of y'all niggas. I'm like, yo, just take 2 of y'all take off, and then the other 2 take off afterwards, but keep the show going. Nah, we want to take vacation together. And I'm like, and I knew in my mind, I said, if these niggas go on vacation, I say, yo, everybody's going to take a vacation, number one, and it's going to kill the business. You know what I'm saying? And then like, and then another part is one of my problems is I took on a space that I had a high overhead, meaning the cost was a little higher. And then I'm living off of the money that we making too. So I'm like, I already got my own apartment, and I got a house, and I got a car, and I got a belly. So then like, you know what I'm saying?
Niggas gotta eat.
I gotta eat. So like, you know what I'm saying? So like when they decided to go on vacation, and I begged and pleaded with them, they left. 3 other shows all decided to go on vacation. After that month was over, then they was like, oh, we want to take another month. And then I found out, well, they couldn't get them niggas each other in the room to even decide on stuff they needed to do. And then they all started individually getting opportunities. So they all started getting money and different doing it. So then pretty much the show disbanded. And then when that happened, like, I'm like, fuck. Like, it's not even about the money. It's just like, yo, I pretty much put a lot of attention behind this one group of people to be the face of the company. And then that's when it was just like, and I remember one of my homies was like, yo, Jay, you know, your biggest problem that you did is like you made the wrong people the face of your company. So like they don't have no interest, you know, in the company like that. So like when it came time for them to go and do something else, they gone. So now you don't have a face. And then now it all started just kind of falling apart. And then, like, you know, there was embezzling going on behind the scenes. It was taking money, and then other little bullshit started happening. So I just was like, yo, I need to shut down. So, like, you know, and then I think I was exhausted on top of that. And then, on top of that, my fucking father got glaucoma. So then his sight went completely out. Right. So then I started getting phone calls from the family like, yo, I need you to come. And then, like, my father and I own a construction company together. So most of the time I didn't have to be around because he's doing his thing. But, like, he need eyeballs to make sure that niggas is doing what they doing. He need eyeballs for the paperwork. He need eyeballs for... So, like, when he's, you know, losing his sight, I had to pull away and then re-engage in that. Right. So it was just kind of like, yo, I just need to shut shit down for a while. And then I was like... Because the station wasn't making money, and it was just costing me so much. And I'm like, over here, family needs me. I'm like, yo, let me just go ahead and take some time, focus on the family. And I needed time because I was pretty much not making shit. So, like, you know.
You kind of had to regain your own focus at the same
right.
time.
I'm out here with fuzzy hair, no haircuts, no clothes. Nigga, I hadn't bought a pair of sneakers in 2-3 years. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm the face of the company. And people constantly complaining, like, yo, you the boss, yo, you need to dress like a boss. And I'm like, I don't got money to dress like a boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't have time to be out here fucking around and shit. So, like, by me being able to shut the station down, I could really start taking care of myself. You know what I mean? I went back, you know, of course, like, now I'm getting back to my construction checks. That's good money. So I'm able to go buy clothes, and then I ended up shutting the station. I gave all the equipment to my old partner, and then I was like, yo, you take this, yo, I'm leaving. I went and bought brand new equipment, and that's when I started, like, just chilling. And I just had a whole summer just to enjoy being a regular person. Yeah. So, like, that's that. Yeah, like, and then after that, my homeboys was like, bro, nah, nigga. He was like, nah, we've been doing this shit way too long, yo. You're like, get up off your ass. Let's get back to doing this show. And I was like, y'all sure? I said, well, we got to do something different. I said, because we've been doing this shit one way for so long. If we're going to break through and have, like, some kind of visibility, like what people are going to think of us as doing something serious, we got to take it to another level. I said, we got to get on camera. You know what I'm saying? And my brother had been lecturing me about that for 10 years. Yo, my middle brother's been like, yo, you need to be on camera. You a funny nigga. Right. You know, you a wild motherfucker. People need to see you. And I'd be like, nah, I'll just do this audio. But at that moment, I kept hearing this voice.
Sound like somebody I know that said the same thing to Nick.
That's a fact. So, like, so then, like, my brother's voice started resonating. And I was like, yo, we going to buy a camera. And we just going to shoot this shit. And buy some lights, and you know,
this is the Aries Lounge.
Yeah, Aries Lounge. We did that last year. You know what I mean? And mind you, we wasn't no space, so I started. Now, mind you, I've done it out of my house for years. Right. You know what I'm saying? But we kind of got used to being in that office, and then you know. But it was like whatever. Let's just go back to doing it. And I was like, yo, at the end of the day, Aries Lounge was never about being popular. It was all about me getting with my friends and people that I love, and let's talk about hip hop, or let's just talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. So, like, we kind of got back into that. And then, that, yo, honestly, that's when it's like, damn, I'm back to the essence again. Like, you know.
It's fun. It became fun again.
Yeah.
The old head is
no
not
stress.
there. Yeah.
You know, wilding, you know, having a good time.
With all that, and I know you guys want to touch on some of the conversation we had on camera, and that's a perfect topic for us to do that. But I want to also, you pretty much covered it all. So you talked about 1500 Radio, right? And how you were part of that.
Oh, you know Radio on Fire used to be with us, too.
I did not know that.
All right, so when I was in Atlanta, I had reached out to Diamond K, because I knew Diamond K back. See, like, me and Diamond K knew each other back in the late 90s when I was rapping, and I gave him my tapes. I was like, yo, check my tape out. He never got back to me, so he just told me that shit was horrible. But you know what I'm saying? But I knew him there. I would always, see, like, I always knew the value of relationships, because my father's a businessman. He'd be always like, yo, people need to know you, not just by face, they by name. People need to know you, so, like, when you need something or you trying to do business, it's not like you cold turkey. Right. So, like, I knew he was a DJ, and I used to go in there, and I would just randomly start conversations with him just because I knew I was working on music, and eventually I wanted to be able to handle him something, and then not be like, you know, cold,
fresh, cold turkey,
right?
It's like at least he kind of would give it a second
give
thought,
you
like, give it a shot. You feel me? Just because he's like, oh, all right, all right, I got you.
So, like, I kind of built like a small relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? And I always thought that he was different, you know what I'm saying, because he wasn't really vocal. But I found out years later, it's like he just wasn't that type of person. It wasn't like he didn't like me or we had problems, because I was always like, wow, he would dap me up and he would have short conversations, but eventually he would just cut it short and just walk away. Like, but that was just the type of person he is. He's just not really going to waste a lot of time, like, on small talk. But we always had a cool thing. So anyway, back in my space days, I'm in Atlanta. And once again, I'm thinking, I need more shows. And I'm like, I want a show that's Baltimore. Right. So I'm like, yo, I found Diamond K. I reached out to him. He reached back. And I was like, yo, would you be willing to record a show with you and your, whoever, put some Baltimore music, some club music on it, and then send it to me. I'll put it up on my site. He said, cool. So for like almost a year, he would record an episode every 2 weeks with him with this and a homegirl, his name Anonymous, and it was called 410. I think it was called 410 Radio. And then he would send it to me. I would put it up on the site. He would do another one. He would do another one. And then eventually, he stopped sending them to me. And I'm like, why this nigga ain't sending me shit? And I'm hitting him up. He ain't replying. So that's the thing. I go on his MySpace page, and he's doing. It wasn't Radio on Fire yet. It was like something else. It was like Fire 410 or it was a Hot 410. It was something like that. Okay. So he started his own thing, and he just, instead of doing what he was doing with me, he just did it on his own platform,
which is a smart business.
Which is a smart.
Might not be the best for relationships.
Right, of course.
Right, yeah, he burnt that bridge. As long as you don't try to send back the yacht.
Maybe not. Maybe he respected it.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
The middleman in a sense.
Yeah, for real.
Right.
He kept doing it, and he kept building, and then he ends up building his own. That's what ended up being Radio on Fire or whatever. But I mean, he'll even tell you he started out with me. So like, Radio on Fire is pretty much one of my children, the same way 1500 is like one of my children. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not meaning that in a demeaning or disrespectful way. I'm just saying, like, I put the battery in niggas' backs and give them access to whatever they do. And then once they get familiar and comfortable, niggas do what they do. And I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel lucky that those guys will even admit and tell people that, like, yo, that they started with me. And
right.
I'm like,
at least give you that much credit.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, they doing it bigger and better. Like, Radio on Fire is killing it right now. 1500 Radio is killing it right now. Like, I don't mind that. I like that. To me, it makes me feel good. Like, nigga,
you play.
I got killers out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got people that's really doing it.
Also shows you gotta respect your eye and your ear.
Yeah.
So Aries Lounge is your way to jump back into your creative space.
Correct.
What the fuck made you do the Baltimore Media Coalition? Because it seemed like you could have took all that pain, angst, trials and tribulation, everything you learned, and kept it to yourself, or charged somebody for it.
Right.
But now you got old Nick from Not Safe for Ears, straight from work, coming and listening to you and the people you brought to educate us. You didn't have to do that. So, with all those years of experience, why did you choose to do something like that?
I got pissed off one night because I was sitting in my apartment and I'm listening to Luscious Kisses podcast and I'm dying laughing. Like, yo, Luscious Kisses, she's an ex-porn star,
all right,
and a dancer.
I see the Stars page or something.
Right. He writes for her. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So and they do
I don't watch
records.
porn.
Liar.
Just in case. I saw this on a friend of mine's story in which I looked at her
when the lightning strikes, I don't want to be close.
I don't watch porn.
Anyway,
That's why we sit on this side of the couch.
That's a smart man. He got me in the middle about to get killed. So anyway, that's crazy. So I'm listening to Luscious Kids podcast, dying laughing. I'm listening to Unbounded Radio. I'm loving that shit. I'm listening to, and I'm even discovering new people. And this is like one night, I'm just sitting there, just going through different podcasts, just listening to stuff, enjoying it. And I'm like, why don't people see what I see when people saying Baltimore ain't got the entertainment or Baltimore don't have no good shows, or like, I get frustrated and pissed because I be like, yo, these people have real talent. These people do real entertainment. And I'm just like, I just want to show some love. So I just started reposting on my personal account. I started reposting, Luscious Kiss, and I started reposting Unbound, and I started reposting, like, Where's Buffy podcast? Yo, Ill Fam, yo, Where's Buffy has been the shit for years, bro. He works so fucking hard.
It seems like everyone that I know that knows about them says the exact same thing.
Yeah, they AO podcast. They just recently started, like, from Where's Buffy, but like, yo, like, Where's Buffy? Like, I went and bought Unbounded t-shirt. I'm fans of these people, and it just irritated me that I felt like other people weren't paying enough attention. So I was like, yo, and I felt like they needed to be supported more. So that's why at first I was just posting on my page, and I'm like, this is fucking up my page. I got my little pictures of myself. I just want to keep my page. So and then once again, my best friend, my boy Fame, like, me and him be on the phone every day, and I was like, yo, I want to do something to just say thank you and acknowledge all of these dope shows. So he was like, why don't you do like an award or something? I was like, yeah, an award would be dope. And I was like, well, I've been wanting to do an award ceremony. And I actually reached out to Diamond K multiple times to help out with the Baltimore Music Awards. And then like he's always so busy and shit like that, you know what I mean? And he don't want niggas around. He want to, he like doing the shit he want to do it his way. And I can't knock him for that shit. So I was like, well, all right, he don't want to let us help. So I said, well, let me put something online and see if people start responding. Right. So I created this little what do they call it? Like a little thing where people can like nominate people.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It was like a no nomination. Like, yo, here, sign up here and nominate who you think should be a fucking, show or whatever nominated for an award. And like, once I started doing that, man, that shit started taking off. But before that, I started the Baltimore Media Coalition page just so I could keep reposting people's stuff.
Right. And have a central place for them to go find new stuff.
Right. And then I started following, and I was like, I'm not going to follow people on my personal page that I don't. Like, I only want to see naked girls and homies on my page. Pause.
Yeah, now that was a pause moment.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
see, now, motherfucker, that was a pause. Naked girls and homies.
Naked girls. And
so now I don't know if you want naked homies too, or...
No, I didn't say that.
See,
I didn't say that. But
someone
if it's the homie, you want to be able to support their page and be like, yo, you want to be like, yo, nigga, do your thing. Like, if it's Stars and he got something he just dropped off, I want to be able to pause. God damn.
Something just dropped. Stars dropping off shit to Jay, yo. I don't know what y'all dropping off.
Oh, yo, shut the fuck up.
You ain't drop shit off here today, I tell you that. Keep all that shit. So,
I'm done.
See what's so crazy about that is that's kind of like the antithesis against what you would think about. What are you doing over there? You can plug it right back in. Baltimore, that doesn't feel like the whole crab in a bucket thing we've been taught within this city. Like, for you to go through everything you went through and to be like, you know what? I want to still show love.
But I don't want people to go through what I went through. I don't want people to feel nothing I feel. Like, all of the frustration that I feel, even after the event from yesterday, I'm so frustrated and pissed off. I don't want y'all to feel that. I want y'all to be, and that's the reason why I don't get online and be like, because I don't want people to feel or see that negativity. I'd rather deal with that and swallow that, pause, and deal with that on my own versus you having to feel the negativity or hear about something negative. Because I want you to feel like you can defeat that. You're gonna get out here, you're gonna keep stepping, and people gonna help you because it's gonna happen. Yes, you're gonna deal with some drama, but it's better to focus on the positive versus the negative. So like me reposting people's stuff was, give you that little bit of confidence that you might need to keep moving. Right. Like you might be like, yo, this is my last episode. I ain't gonna do this shit no more. Like, but you might see me post and be like, nigga, you said this shit. I was laughing my ass off, and you know what? I'm gonna do one more. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's those little moments that make you be like, yo, it's actually worth it. It's worth to keep going. And then sometimes you also look at how far you've come, and you like, yo, if I stop now, then that means all the shit I did before this.
Right.
What the fuck did I do it for in the first place?
That's
you
facts.
Know what I'm saying? So
that's
I
facts.
can understand that.
I want y'all to stay right there then. So if you're still listening, and you will be listening in the future once the video goes
I hope
up.
you
subscribe to the channel.
Nigga. Fuck that.
He took us on a road.
Okay.
I almost feel like I was like I can almost, if you
like
close your eyes, you can
jump on the train.
You can see it, right?
You can really
follow
follow
the train.
About
something off camera, trusting the process.
Yeah, trusting the process, not rushing the process,
and how it has dips and valleys and all that type of stuff. Dig into that. How important has that been? Understanding.
Do you remember who told you that, or when you saw that?
I saw.
It's a loud coach dude.
Yeah, because I was on. I was on Instagram, and every once in a while, sometimes this is just from my standpoint. Sometimes you got to go back and you got to, you got to kind of pull yourself together. Sometimes you got to look back on your spirituality, figure out, what you got going on. Just to kind of find out where either the negativity is coming from or whatever the case may be. And I was on the internet, and I'm looking at E.T. the hip hop preacher, one of the people that I follow the most as far as trying to find my inspiration. And he said, you gotta trust the process and not rush the process. So it kind of touched me and whatnot. And me and Jay was talking about that prior to the show even coming on. So
like
I'm gonna let him touch on that.
I like what you said because it is very important. If you are connected in the right space with the right people, then it's like you need to be on cruise control. So if you say for instance, if I was working at 92Q and my goal was to be a personality, then I need to come in every day and I need to kill it. I need to come in early. I need to follow directions from everybody. I need to be watching and learning, keeping my mouth closed, keeping my ears open, You know what I'm saying? I need to be trusting the process that, as long as I'm the number one best person here, I'm going to get the opportunity. The opportunity is going to come because they're going to want the best to be the person on the microphone. You know what I mean? And if I'm quiet and I'm learning and I'm listening, then I'm learning everything I need to know. I'm getting all the information I need to be, and eventually I'm going to get to where I want to go. So trust the process there. Right. But if you're outside the system and you don't have teachers, you don't have mentors, you don't have, education as far as this journey you taking, and you just walking into the fog, you can't trust nothing. You in the fog. Like, you don't know if you seeing something that's right. You don't know if you're going to walk into a wall or if there's a big monster 3 feet in front of you. You need to develop skills, and you need to develop awareness, and you need to sketch out your own map of all of the experiences and everything going on around you.
Well, hold it right there. How would you know the difference if you're just entering this space?
What do you mean? The difference
How do
in
you
what?
know? Okay, I can trust. So let's say if I'm interning.
Experience. So if I walk 4 feet this way and I bump into you, all right, I know 4 feet, he's here. As long as he don't move, I know that something over here at 4 feet. Right. And then I'm going to keep walking in another direction, and I'm going to hit something else, or I might, burn myself or whatever. You have to take notes. To me, that's learning from your experiences. Okay. So that way you figure it out as you go along. And that's why I say, like, you can't be on cruise control and trust the process when you out in the fog, because the process is what educates you. You need that process. You don't need to trust nothing. You need to learn. You need to retain. You need to refine. You know what I mean? So if I'm out here and I'm doing a podcast on my own and I don't have no other podcast friends, I don't have anything else to learn from, then I need to go, all right, do one episode, talk. Okay, so people listen for 5 minutes. Let me look at my statistics. They only listen for 5 minutes, and then they dropped off. So what was that 5 minutes that they was listening into? All right, so what's going to make people come back? Man, I got a spike on the show. Why did I get a spike? Was it titties? Was it something funny? Was it all right? Cool. Right. So it's like research and development, and like I want people to be aggressive. I want you to be like, whatever makes you get up and move. Like most of the time it'd be like chicks. If you see a fly girl, you want to chase after her, you got to look at your dream the same way. You need to be a scientist about it. Like when I tell people, that's a fact. Like back before there was the internet, my bedroom used to be filled with flyers back when I was a rapper, because I needed to know. In my mind, I'm thinking I need to know everything that's moving in the city. So if I got tapes to hand out, or if I need a flyer to hand out, I need to know that Friday night over here, this party's going on over here, and there's going to be 200-300 niggas there, so I can put the flyers out for my mixtape. Or if I need to drive over here because there's an open mic. See, that's research and development. I used to literally get the city paper, and I'm looking through the city paper, who got an open mic, who got an event, who got a studio. That's the way you do it. Now you got Instagram. These kids be like, I don't know what's popping in the city. I mean, tell you something. Before anybody of these power players knew who I was, I knew who they were. I knew who their families was. I knew where they hung out. I knew what they do. Why? Because I was following all these people. Like, the Sean Caesars and the Motts and this person and that person. I've known who Sean Caesar was for 20 years, bro.
I still don't know who Sean Caesar is.
Sean Caesar right now is the vice president of like marketing for DTLR. Okay. But before that, Sean Caesar ran Unruly Records. Sean Caesar is pretty much Quicksilver's father and manager. Sean Caesar manages Jay Claxton. You know what I'm saying? He manages Quicksilver. He manages a bunch of other people, but he also had Unruly Records. So all of those mixtapes that was coming out, and you saw that Unruly logo, that was him. He was running record pool meetings for the last 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's responsible for Boss Man's first album, because Boss Man's album came out through Unruly, through distribution. They had their own label, but Unruly did the distribution. Mully Man, distribution. Paula Campbell, distribution. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these people, that's Sean Caesar. And then, like, Sean Caesar had a business partner. That guy's name is, it's a white guy named DJ... Shit, please don't upset.
Shit, I like yo.
No. Like, don't do that. Shit. Like, he's a legend for real. I just can't remember his name right now, but like, he's an OG for real. And I can't wait. He already told me I can get an interview, so I can't wait to sit down and talk to him. But like, he was one of those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike McIntosh from Architect Studios. Like Mike Mac. Like, when I did my interview with him, I didn't even know how deep he was. I just remember Architect Studios being the place where everybody that was popping recorded. But then when he started telling me that he was responsible for mixtape distribution from Philly all the way down to Virginia, And I'm talking about every mixtape you bought from 50 Cent to whatever. Anybody that had a mixtape out, he was going to New York, getting hundreds of thousands of CDs, bringing them down, and then selling them to the local niggas for their little cut. And then that's how he was able to go and print up thousands of, and then he had his own CD burners. So he started burning up stuff. So when Boss Man put 100,000 CDs, they all came from architects. When Money Man was putting out the albums, and then Unruly start going to them for manufacturing. So then, yo, this nigga's a plug, making damn millions of dollars on the low for real. So these are the power players. I may not have known how deep they was in the game, but I knew these people because I knew these are the guys that every time you saw an artist pop off, you see these guys in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be in the game, you got to know these people. You got to do your research. You got to dig. You can't just sit around trusting that as long as I keep making these rap songs, I'm cool. No, nigga. You got to
be aggressive.
You got to be out here. And it's the same thing with the podcast. And I'm trying to get all of my media family in Baltimore, yo, I need y'all to get that hunger, that aggression to, like, not to take everybody out, but no, to be on everybody's show. Like, yo, let's support everybody. Like my thing is, if there's 15 of us and we all rock with each other, that's 15 comments on every video we drop.
Easy.
That's 15 new people that we can share amongst ourselves. That's 15 views that we ain't got to worry about.
That's 15 crowds and circles. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's 15 people that we can guarantee at an event if we do something. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll build on its own because people going to see 15 comments and go, what the hell are they talking about? Oh, shit. And then they'll jump in the conversation. That's just natural. So, like, I'm trying to get us to that point where we start realizing we don't need nobody but ourselves. And then as we build and we build our crowds, those crowds translate over to the other things. Right. The same way where, I found out about certain podcasts through other podcasters. I didn't know nothing about Joe Rogan like that until Joe Budden and all them started talking about it like that. And then he started showing up on my feed and I started watching. I'm like, damn. And then he put me on to all of these different little spaced out, different individual people. Like, it's the same thing in Baltimore.
And there's a lot of knowledge that's out there, but people just don't understand it. It's actually there for the taking, but we don't really look at it like that.
Right.
And Nick always got this saying, how does it go, Nick, when you talk about, what you say, we are nothing without each other?
Yep. That's a fact.
He said it all
literally.
the time.
I said every time. I think I probably said it to you about 5 times.
Yep.
And I mean that shit. And you're fucking getting me excited. And I don't got to say pause because you're getting me excited. You're not getting me excited. But what you're doing. Listen,
it's the truth,
so a lot of times we lose this wealth of knowledge and emotion, right? Or in just death. Let's say you die or you never wrote it down. It's like, fuck, we lost it. But sometimes people be like, I'm jaded. No, fuck y'all. Fuck this industry. Fuck all. I wasted so much. You are one of these people who has all this information. A lot of times you had to go through it and grow through it. And you're saying, you know what? No, I'm still out here pushing with the Media Coalition. And I'm going to give y'all something. And not even in a sense, I never got the feeling of like, I'm going to give it to you if you give back to me. You got this altruistic, like, I'm just giving and then universe will give back. I just want everyone to succeed. I want us to understand that we are a worst enemy or our best advocate.
Yeah, exactly. I want people to give back.
I mean, you are charging for the tickets now, and that's good. You got overhead.
Only because we're about to start, putting together the next award ceremony, and I took such a major hit. I'm like,
no, you should.
I'm trying.
I almost thought it was criminal for you doing it for free. Now I like free, but I was going to I think the first and the second one. I'm like, yo, this is. I'll tell a lot of little artists and engineers and media people. I said, y'all gotta come and check this out. Yeah. It's fucking free game.
Right.
And just if you don't even gotta listen, the people you attract to the events, if you just go and 5 people, hey man, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
You can leave from there and then make 5 or 10 other opportunities.
Right.
What you're doing is integral to our success here in
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
I have to do it for free because a lot of people will, the moment you put a price tag on something, they associate it with, these niggas fake. They just trying to get money.
For the money.
Yeah, they only out here for the money though. So
shit.
it was like, yo, I gotta do it for free just so that people will come and even see what the fuck is going on. Like,
give it a free sample in a cafeteria.
Well, they say sometimes you gotta throw that real out there for people to understand that the product is not based on the pay. It's based on the service that you're trying to provide.
Right.
And if people understood that's technically speaking, that's kind of like what we all here for, to kind of provide some kind of service or product. Like there's no way that you can make money. There's no way that you can, grow or progress without providing a service or product to help somebody else.
Right,
But you got to do it with the right integrity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I already know how our skin, I know how we are. Like we are traumatized people. So like we are very skeptical when it come down to business. Now, if it come down to club, fucking random motherfuckers doing drugs with random people, we will fucking go out with anybody, fuck anybody, do whatever we want. But at the moment there's business involved, niggas is super scared because they don't know nothing about business. So it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna go out here and fuck with these niggas.
The pot.
I don't know, man. What's up with this shit? So if you put a price on it, they'll be like, nope, that's their excuse to go. Nope, I ain't gotta go because I ain't got $10. Nigga, you just spent $50 on weed.
Easy.
What are you talking about?
Right. Yo, you went to that chicken box and got that extra large half for it.
Tell them, brother. Yes, extra large chicken box. Yep, I'm with it. But like when you give them free, it eliminates the excuse. At least goes in their brain. They go, let me go at least check.
Well, at least I can go check it out.
I ain't going to lose nothing.
Exactly.
Ain't going to hurt me. What's the opportunity cost?
Yeah.
Like, shit, I ain't doing nothing anyway.
Exactly.
A little gas,
so let me just go see what it's out. And then you go there, you feel some positive energy. You know what I'm saying? You meet some positive people and you go, yo, this ain't as bad. Maybe I'll come to the next one. And like that's what I'm trying to build that. Like I'm trying to get people out of that comfort zone. Because most of us are introverts. Believe it or not, most great entertainment people, we are good because we've learned how to create this persona. I've created this persona to protect myself, to keep people from knowing who I really am or being all up in my face or annoying the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I created this over the top person.
Niggas said that on several occasions.
Tez don't even believe it. He be like, you lying? I'm like, nah, nigga. It's like,
it's just something creative. Like, yo, if you come up
and to make other people feel better or comfortable.
Right.
Sometimes, like I don't like per se any kind of tension. So I'll be the first one to be like, at your shit, oh shit, and everybody's like the iceberg. It's like, all right, now we can all just fucking relax.
Yeah, let everybody loosen up a little bit because everybody's sitting there stuck like. I don't know this nigga. Like, what you doing, yo?
What's this about? We about to be on some gang shit, nigga. What's up? What's up? And I mean, and that's how we have been accustomed to. And like I had a conversation during the week. That's Baltimoreans. We have developed skill sets. And we've developed these demeanors and this way of living because of the fact that there's so much violence, there's so much unpredictableness. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like when we hop out of the gas station, nigga, we eyeballing. What's up? I see you, nigga.
We making sure.
What's up?
What's
up? You good? You good? All right, cool. And then you know what I'm saying? We walking with a certain swag. Because I don't know if the nigga that's gonna try to take me off or so whatever. Like that whole thing translates into everything, the business and the relationships or whatever. So and I know how greasy these niggas have been in Baltimore. I've seen how they will bring niggas in, take niggas off, and then and the person won't even know they got taken off. Like for real. So me, it's like my homeboy wanted me to monetize day one. He wanted me to monetize day two. Shit. He wanted, they was like, yo, when niggas told it, you charging $10, yo, my mother cursed me out. You charging $10 a ticket for an award ceremony? Why? Charge 20, charge 30. It's worth it. I said, nah, ma. I said, you want to know why? Because there's so many other people that did the award ceremony wrong. Just the fact the way we doing it is making people like uneasy. And there were a lot of people in my DMs like cursing me out about like, yo, I should get more free tickets. I should, and I'm like, it's $10. Like, it's $10. Like, what's the problem? Like, you already nominated. If you and your homies want to come, why they can't? I'm giving you one free ticket.
Right.
I think I gave away 2 free tickets for every person. I don't know. I tried to. I couldn't afford. The venue literally could only hold 300 people with all the tables.
Right.
So I'm like, once I gave away 75 tickets. Nigga.
That's a quarter of the space right there.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying over $1,000 for the venue. And then I had to pay more money so I could have a bar there. Even though they was like, I know you made a lot of money off the bar. No, I didn't. Actually, I didn't even break even off the bar. I spent more money on liquor than I made back. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't
want niggas to leave there like, man, they were charging all that money for the drinks.
Once again,
like we had the club and shit.
You going to charge $10 of drinks? And I'm like, nah, nigga, charge them $7 for the Henny, bro. And niggas was like, no, yo, I fight with my partner all the time about money because I'm saying I want people to have inexpensive.
It's not about the money.
Right, not about the money, but I also know that niggas ain't got it. We out here investing. So I'm trying to keep people with a reasonable experience.
Right.
Because I don't want people to go, man, it's $20, man. I can't do it. I'd rather them go, it's only 10. Let me kick it. I'm going to come through. Because I know that once they get in the room, it's going to change.
Right.
I just want people to get in the room.
Right.
But the problem is, it's that even with me doing all of that, it's still hard to get niggas in the room. The $10 ticket, it's still hard. Because if it ain't a $10 ticket, it's why we got to get dressed up? Why can't I just wear sneakers and jeans? And I'm like,
I know who said that too. It's somebody that we both know that you know way more than me. We'll talk after camera. And because this motherfucker told me the same thing.
I can tell you it's multiple people. It's not just one. I have multiple people in the DMs, like, and mostly rappers. You know what I mean?
And you know what? It's because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And that's the thing you got to understand is you're going to have to get, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable when you want to get into those comfortable situations.
Right. And the thing I was trying to tell these artists, I said, y'all want interviews and you want the media you want people to embrace you. Make the sacrifice and embrace them. If you don't normally wear a suit, wear the suit and come out and shake these shows' hands and say, yo, congratulations, yo. Hey, man, I appreciate you.
You're going to set a whole different tone.
So many artists I said that to. Yo, just come and show love because y'all the ones that keep complaining that the media don't support you. Well, yo, show them some love. Right. Come out and shake their hand. Come out and pass out some flyers. Come out and give away something for free. And say, hey, man, we want to just thank you. Give away a little bracelet and say, yo, I just want to say thank you, yo, just for doing what you're doing. And, yo, if you ever need us for anything, give us a call. Do you know how many people would be fucking booking you all over the place?
All kinds of shit. There'd be a lot of different support habits because, first of all, what you doing, that brick and mortar type thing, like actually getting out here and shaking hands, first of all, is not what a lot of people know how to do because we have so much social media and we have so many different avenues of greeting and meeting people that coming out here to shake somebody's hand and knowing how to shake somebody's hand is going to make somebody feel that much more uncomfortable. But with your brick and mortar, by laying one brick at a time, laying a brick at a time, breaking it down so then those walls that we're so accustomed to, that people start to understand, like, yo, you don't have to have that barrier. Like, yo, you can come, you can shake somebody's hand. You can come, you can pass out something for free. Because little do you know, that's building you up, and then that eventually can propel you into your next stage in life. But you don't know that until you show up and pay that fucking $10.
That's a fact. That's the same thing, like, when I booked Conan for the last joint we had, the brunch, I couldn't get, I DM'd that dude 1,000 times. He ain't reply. Guess what? I found out he got a restaurant. I'm on his Instagram page. Oh, you got a restaurant. Oh, I know exactly where that's at. I pull right up. I jump into the set. I see him when I come in. I don't go directly to him. I go to the bar. I order a drink. Chilling, I see my homegirl. She give me a drink. I order some wings. I order some fries. I stay there for like 2 hours.
Spent money.
I spent money
at his restaurant.
At his restaurant. He see me spending money. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I asked, yo, do y'all mind? Is there any? I was like, when it would be a good time to talk to Conan? Because I see you busy. I don't want to be interrupting. And people be like, what? No, you want to go talk to him? And then somebody went and got him, brought him to me. And then I had a conversation with him. Yo, I'm a fan, number one. I've been listening to you since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And this and that. I'm letting him know, yo, I see your page. I know what you do. I'm a fan. And then I'm like, yo, I see you got a venue. I said, I would like to bring my meeting to your venue, because I want to bring you some money. So that's the first thing I do. I give him opportunity. I'm bringing money to him. I'd already spent some bread, but I'm talking about spending some more bread with him. And then I say, yo, and he was like, oh, man, that'll be dope. And then I said, yo, before I leave, I have an event. I said, I think it would be a great benefit to my guys if you would come and speak at our venue. And I told him what we were about and what we was doing. And he was like, yo, bro, I'm down. And he gave me he said, you got my phone number? Like, no. He gave me his phone number. He gave me his sister's phone number. They gave me an email address. And then they was like, yo, text my phone right now, boom, boom. That's how I got connected. Like, yo, I can't, like, when people talking about, well, I can't find them. Yo, people tell you where they're going to be at. Yo, sometimes you got to pull up on people, man. And, like, there are times when I'm just blatant. I'll just pull up on somebody. Hey, I came here to see you, bro. What's up? How you doing? My name's Jay. You know, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. You know what I mean? People respect that. And like I was saying in a meeting yesterday, people that are in the industry respect the hustle. If you really about your shit, you respect somebody that's about theirs.
You can see it.
You know what I'm saying?
You can see it in their aura. You can see it in their pores when they sweating it out.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect Nick, yo, because when he pull up and say, yo, bro, I know you, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is what I'm trying to do, da-da-da. All right, cool. Yo, he supports. Then he was like, yo, you mind coming on? It wasn't like he just hit me randomly, like, yo, come to the show. It's like, yo, he showed support. He showed love. Like, yo, that's all. That, yo, people respect that. I'm not going to say no to somebody that I see is on the same path I'm on and taking it serious. You know what I mean? So that's where I try to implore the whole media, not just artists, With the media, you got to be aggressive, bro. I was aggressive about interviews. I ain't mind. Who you want me to hit? You want me to text this person? I'm going to text them right now. While we standing here.
Boom,
You want me to email somebody? I'm going to do right. Like, yo, don't play with people, man. Like, yo, because the more you serious, the more they going to take it serious. You know what I'm saying? And don't be afraid of a little white lie every now and then. So, like, if you got to act like you're a management company or you got to act like you the producer,
nigga, you gotta do.
I have emailed people with different email addresses to be like, yo, I'm the manager of Aries Lounge Radio. I am the show producer.
Smart. I've never thought about that.
Never thought about
I would motherfucking try that shit.
We have open slots in the next month and a half, and we would love to get you on the show.
You better hope they ain't been watching this show.
Right.
Not yet. They ain't been watching. It's still good right now.
Right.
But so, thank you very much.
No problem.
You.
Oh, I haven't overtalked.
No.
Okay.
It's very few interviews that, and not because any of the past guests that I don't want to, right? It's all allocation of time. I just don't have it. But this is one of the interviews where I'm like, I gotta go back and listen to this shit again.
Whoa.
Cause you don't say pause. I'm gonna say,
come
on,
on,
fam.
You
gotta go back again. I'm like, damn, Jay, I'm tired.
That didn't sound positive after you said it the way you just said it.
No, but for whatever they are going to learn from this, you also have a funny, dope, off the cuff, retarded, stupid, funny podcast, right?
Oh, I appreciate that.
So as much as you guys are watching this, you like, damn, you got some not knowledge, but his podcast is this plus all simple shit like One Gotta Go, Black Films.
Yep.
About 1,000 pause moments. They love to say pause in that motherfucker.
Yep, and then we review albums.
Talk a little bit about that before we close out. We got about 5 minutes.
Damn, we got a time limit.
We
You're
already
so professional.
I try to keep it at an hour, but when there's certain people that come on, I think have a wealth of knowledge. Whether it's 5 people who listen to it now or a year from now when it catches the 5,000 viewers, they're gonna appreciate this shit.
Word, I appreciate
and if they don't, fuck them in the ass. I don't give a shit. I ain't pausing either. Big dick. Give a fuck. I'm sorry.
He was a little mad about that.
But so your podcast is fun as shit. I got a chance to get on the podcast, and you guys talk about everything. One homie ain't get pussy in about 5 years, and he thinks White Chicks is a black action movie. The other one,
shout out to Pill. Shout out to Pill.
And Will, the other one, right?
Yeah, Will's a
Will,
light-skinned nigga.
I don't think he light skinned. He might be clear.
Yeah. He crazy.
But he funny shit too. They got like an off sense of humor too.
Yes.
It's not an overt in your face.
Yes.
They work very, very good. So talk a little about your podcast and when they can expect shows and where can they find it as well.
So Aries Lounge, like I said, it was the first show that was on VVC Radio. Started back in 2007. So I think we in our 13th, 14th year or whatever.
13, 14.
When I moved back to Baltimore, I think in 2011 or 2012, something like that. Actually, it was earlier than that, probably 2010. I can't remember. So Will is my best friend. I known him since high school. So like he started listening to the show while I was in Atlanta, and he used to be in the chat room like talking trash and all that. So when I came back to Baltimore, we linked back up and we was just hanging out, and he was just asking me like, yo, why you gonna do the show again? Like, what's up? Why don't we do the show? And I'm like, man, I ain't got nobody to do the show with me, man. I'm like, plus I need this, I need that, and he was just like, bro, I'll do it with you. And like we just went on that journey together, like jumped on air, and he's been with me nonstop. Like, yo, every time I'm trying to do a show, he there. Like every time I try to do an event, he there. Like he the one that keep putting the battery
on time. Is he there on time?
Hell no. Fuck no.
That's hey, showed it like 3 hours late. No, it's not you. No, I'm not about you at all. No. 10 minutes. He came in his shit. Yo. I'm trying to be in on time with traffic. Yo came in late.
45 minutes to an hour. Like he told me he was gonna be, y'all, I'm gonna be there by. All right, we were supposed to be there at 6. So he said, I can't be there until 7:30. The nigga didn't show up until like 8 o'clock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the nigga shit, bro.
Time. But talk about more about like.
But anyway, the show, the format is pretty much supposed to be hip hop talk radio. But as I've gotten older, I'm not saying that hip hop is not interesting anymore, but I really feel like I've kind of talked it out. So I'm expanding the subject matter. To just involve more of like real life, regular life stuff, but also other things that I love. Like I love films, like I love R&B. Like we just did an episode on R&B, and then now I'm gonna do the next 2 months. We're gonna go deep into R&B. Like I think we're gonna do R&B groups this week.
You ain't say pause though.
Paul, going deep into R&B is not a person.
Yeah, but see, no, but I'm not following logic. No, we're going off of J logic.
Okay,
and anytime you say anything like deep or hard, you be like, pause. So I thought you was going to say it again. You missed it.
Pause. So anyway, yeah. So we're gonna do, the next 2 months, just going, we're gonna expand into R&B.
Okay.
To talk about, like, I want to talk about groups. I want to talk about subgenres. So, like, and how they were born. So, like, what I mean? Like, I feel like those are just great conversations. I'm trying to give, now that we're on YouTube and we've got a different type of audience, I really just want to give people more conversation that is broader. You know what I mean? More than just it being about, like, yo, this rap album just came out, or let's talk about. I think I've just gotten bored with that.
I also like the One Gotta Go, though.
And the One Gotta Go is
the
something.
food shit was hard, fam. Like, what was it? Shrimp, steak.
Yep.
What was the other two? Pizza.
Shrimp, steak, pizza, and something else.
Lobster. Was it lobster?
No,
what the fuck was it?
Because it probably would have got cut. But
anyway,
chicken.
They have fun too.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of. Not saying that anything isn't fun or not, but it's like you guys can be silly.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good balance to all the expertise you guys may have.
Two things that
well.
come out of One's Gotta Go. Number one, I wanted something. I like to create I love the long form podcast, but you gotta have smaller things that people can consume to kind of hook them in.
Clips and shit.
So like that would need to be the one thing. And the number two thing is that it's hard to know what Will's gonna talk about. Like he's such a person where sometimes he's talkative, but most of the time he'll just give you a one-word answer and it's annoying. So with One's Gotta Go, it forces him to have to create sentences. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, yo, nigga, we on a show together, motherfucker. You gotta talk, nigga. Talk.
Content.
You know what I mean? Because he so much doesn't care about anything. All right, I don't give a fuck about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, music, I don't give a fuck about this shit. Like, life, I don't give a fuck about this shit. But it's like, we start talking about food, nigga. Oh, he got something to say. Like, or if you talking about chicks or something like you
give him something specific and then give him a way where he has to actually give you something more.
Yeah, then it's lit. You know what I'm saying?
Like, nigga, there we go.
Right. And it's just really teeing up for him to be funny. Like, once you give him that space, he's going to be funny. And then Pill is great. Pill is great because he knows how to play off Will and he knows how to play off me. So, like, you know what I mean? He's great with that. Like, he's got his own opinion, but I think a lot of times he recognizes that I'm not going to fight between these two guys.
Counter fighter.
Yeah, he's just, he'll just wait until we say something stupid and then he just bat you right upside the head or whatever.
He did say White Chicks was the best black action film.
That was some shit.
I told him whenever I see him, I'm calling White Chicks.
That
You'll
shit
meet
was,
him one day.
I saw that shit and I was dying
White
laughing,
Chicks,
because everybody thought like White Chicks.
We
Like, nigga,
that was your
best
episode.
answer.
I said, man.
That was the only thing you could think of.
This nigga text me the next day on the phone. He was talking about something and he hashtag White Chicks. I think I fell out laughing.
I said,
like,
what
this
in the
nigga wild.
Before Marvin closes us out, when's the next media brunch or the next media coalition event?
The last one for the year is more than likely going to be early November.
Okay.
And then everything is going to be about the award ceremony after that.
Okay.
So I apologize to you guys, but I got to do one more fundraising because we technically didn't make shit off of this one. I really hope that people will stop feeling, because first of all, I appreciate everybody wanting to be a part of stuff, but I want the media to stop trying to use their credentials as a way to be like, yo, Jay, can I get in for free? And I'd be like, yo, it's a fundraiser, my nigga. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to raise funds for your award ceremony. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I really hope that people can get aside from themselves. Like, even with this, we just generated enough money to print the book. So it was just like, well, these two fundraisers kind of canceled each other out. So I'm going to do one more and pray to God that we can at least get 1,000 together, you know what I mean? And then that'll at least take care of the venue. And then we can go ahead and know if we do what we got to do. But I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but like, honestly, I don't have the financial means to carry another event next year if I can't pull the bread together. I know people going to want the event and all that other stuff. And what I want to do as far as the DJs, bro, I really want to bring the DJs in and do the DJ awards in with the Impact Awards. So we're going to do that in January. So I'm just asking everybody, please donate, please buy a ticket. Even like if you like Nick bought a ticket and wasn't even able to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, please stop making this I'm only going, like, somebody was texting me during the event was like, I'll give you the money if I come. I might be a little late. And I'm like, yo, it's $10. Like, what in the world? Like, it's crazy.
They're almost doing you a favor by just saying, okay, no, thank you.
Or don't text me at all. It's not like I'm...
Don't even worry about it.
Because if you're going on, I don't need it. I'll find someone else, like myself, like not to kiss my own ass,
Yeah.
but I didn't ask my
Sometimes you can
back.
toot your
I
own
believe
horn.
in what you're doing.
Right.
I had another opportunity I had to chase because I have multiple dreams I'm trying to go after.
Right.
But it was like, why am I? No, if I believe in what you're trying to do, and it's only fucking 10 now. If it was 100, I said I need some money.
That's different.
Look, that's
but,
the bill money. That's BG&E. But it's like, come on, man. I see what you're trying to do, and I say that I want to help you. Now show it.
right.
If you don't want to show it, then keep all that fucking
Right.
likes and, hey, you're doing a good job. No, you're just waiting for the perfect moment to keep that relationship so when it's advantageous for you to cash in, you cash in.
That's it.
Suck my dick backwards.
Oh boy. So
Fuck
at the end of the day, man, I love each and every one of y'all for whatever reason your motivation is. It doesn't really matter. I'm from the space of I hope that people can see and learn and become better. Because all that, even that advantageous stuff, like, it don't really work. Because you trying to be a schemer. Other people see it.
It's gonna
You know what I'm
come.
saying? And they not going to want to rock with you. You know what I mean? Like, people rock with me because I've been a genuine person. It's funny because, Marcy was just like, yo, you too nice. She's saying that the whole day yesterday. Like, you such a nice person. That's fucking sickening. Like, you know what I mean? She was like, that's the reason why you got all the problems you got now, because you need to curse these niggas out. You need to do this. And I'm like, man, I'm not.
With stress.
Sometimes you
I
can't
got
waste the
time to curse
energy.
motherfuckers
Like,
out.
Yeah, right.
Just cut you off.
Yeah, well, unfortunately I can't. But you know what I mean? Yeah, but it is what it is. But like, but yeah, yo, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you so
I
much. Where
love
can
the
they
show.
find
You
you?
guys are
thank you
dope.
so much.
Where can
You know
they
what I'm
find you
saying?
if they need to find you?
Go to bbclife.com. Check all of the episodes out. You can check everything we got. One's Gotta Goes. You can check out the Aries Lounge show. You can check out Lo-Fi Logs, which is kind of like it's like it used to be a weekly vlog, but now it's like anytime I get invited out to an event. If y'all want to see me network or see what it's like when I'm out at different events, I generally take my little cousin with me, give him my camera, and then he'll videotape us. So like the last one we just did was at YB and Corday's listening party they had in Baltimore, and I was out there.
The hotel?
Yeah.
Loft.
Yep. So like, you know what I mean?
This motherfucker be everywhere, yo.
I
That's what you
try.
gotta do.
Grind.
I try.
The grind is real.
Business entertainment.
The funny part is,
Whoa.
I'm out there with a
Business.
fucking pickup truck with trash on it, packed, stacked up to the
You
I
out
gotta go
there.
to the dump the next day.
You out
and
there.
I'm pulling up, and it's all these expensive white people out here, and I'm coming up looking like Sanford and Son. Like, but yo, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Man, I really appreciate you.
It's all good, G.
And you dropped a lot of knowledge like I
Yes.
promised people we were going to get. And keep pushing. Like you said,
Thank you.
we
Yeah.
talked about it off camera. We ain't got to make a big old speech about it, but I'm here.
I appreciate it.
Yes,
Here
indeed.
and vice versa. Just keep pushing. And if you want to burn all this shit down and start something else, we can do that too. It's never too late to do what the fuck you want to do.
I'm trying not to
Yeah,
do
sure.
that, bro. I felt like doing that shit yesterday, but like between Hip Hop Cleopatra and people like you, bro, like y'all keep me going. Like, oh, all right, so I'm doing something that makes a difference.
No, you are.
Cause like, and you believe it or not, yo, people, I'll show you the DMs, bro. All niggas do is just send me links to their little post to repost, nigga. They don't be like, yo, thank you. Niggas they don't even comment on our shit. I'll be like, damn, nigga. The least you can
Right,
do is say,
thank you.
know what I mean? Like, it got to the
Or-
point where
or
niggas
repost
don't
my
repost,
repost and shit.
and they'll just be like, they'll DM me the link and be like, post this. Don't, no please, no thank you, no
know.
nothing. I'll be
I know
like,
how it
God
goes.
damn, bro.
I know how I go. I leave that shit on scene.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that shit.
No, I can't. Listen, I'm also not in the position you are and what you're trying to do.
Yeah, facts.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Parallels
you can
aren't-
be a
yeah,
dick
yeah.
if you want to. Yeah.
I try not to, but it's like, fam. Listen, all right, so check this out. Before you close this out, this is going to be a 30-second thing. If you come on the platform, right,
Mhm.
and neither one of us are asking for money, making money, whatever, right, and I just say, hey, I got a flyer. We're trying to increase our brand recognition. Just repost this on your page or your story, just so people know where you're going. Not just off the flyer I created, but our faces, so they can see. You might see me in the street, say, I like to show my cousin, da-da-da-da. I've had people say, no, or, I don't want to do that. It takes them 2 seconds. But in their stories, they post a new Popeye chicken sandwich and they little cousin who can't sing. So I'm
this
like,
is-
hold on, you going to come to my show, waste your gas, whatever your time. You want to get whatever viewers I may have to spotlight what you do.
Right.
All I say is, hey, repost the flyer and just tell them where to find you at on the show.
I'll tell you the solution to that problem. Let me show you the solution
What
to the problem.
solution,
You see
please?
how I put my flyer together? It'll be me and Hip Hop Cleopatra face on the side, and then I put the other person's face on it. That's what you do. Take a smaller picture of you and your homeboy, put it on one side with the name of the show and all the links and all that shit, and then put their face on that bitch, and then they gonna post that.
Or I could just not invite motherfuckers like that. So that's what I'm doing now. Listen, fam. What are you, an architect? I want you like my show. You say you like my show, right? We're gonna come on. It's not for me. That's not my why. That's not my why. My why is I like to learn new shit, and while I'm learning it, I just got a fly on the wall camera that's gonna let y'all be on it. So cool. If you want to come on, you're going to share my fucking flyer. If you don't come on.
That's fine.
It's that easy because it makes it a lot easier for me because I know you never really fucking like my show. Because
Yeah,
if you
either-
like the show and what we put on,
And you like what we're trying to do,
flyer, fam,
that's all you got to do.
it's not going to be a problem. So that's all. That's all I
so
do.
obviously, if you want to keep that
I ain't gonna
attention,
put mine in the corner, no. Bitch, I'm going to
Yeah.
get my whole fucking flyer because I put your whole goddamn face on my shit. Why the fuck you can't share mine?
Tell him.
Woosah, nigga.
Tell him who
Woosah,
it is,
nigga.
yo.
I'm just gonna,
Put him out there, B.
that's all. No,
Tell
no.
him who it is. Tell him who it is, yo.
I don't
What's
think
the
it's
Instagram name?
It's
No.
too many.
It's too many
But
Instagram
you should never
names?
see them more. I just be like, no, it's good. It's okay.
Damn.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's all good.
We'll find somebody else to take the slot.
crazy.
Let me get a UFC fighter to come on. Fuck 'em.
Damn, that's crazy.
I really want to get some of your shit. You had some good shit. We're going to keep that on camera. Close this out real quick, Marvin.
All right, look, make sure y'all check us out on YouTube.
Damn, I wish I had that fucking camera back.
Go, subscribe, like, comment. YouTube, not safe for ears.
We'll be back on Spotify real soon. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Spotify.
Anchor.fm.
Yeah, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, all of that. Make sure if you got any questions, you want to recommend a guest or anything like that, you can either DM us on Instagram at Not Safe for Ears, or you can shoot us an email, notsafeforears@gmail.com. Make sure you go to the Facebook page, hit the like button on that. We're always willing to take some feedback, so make sure you guys hit us up, let us know, and we out, bitch.
One more thing.
God damn
And
it.
I'm sorry. I went to the event, Rise, Thai boxing event. My homeboy Jason, Emilio, they put a great fighting event on the other day. I'll have some videos and shit and post up soon. But I had a lot of people, and I mean a lot, about 10 or 15 people, come to me and said they appreciate the show. So I figured I could balance out some of my aggression with the people who came and shook my hand and said, yo, I fuck with your show. And there's a lot of the martial arts community, right? Yo, I like what your show. I like when Yo came on. That's my man. You doing your thing. They didn't have to do that. A lot of times people will see you, want to say something, but don't want to boost your ego, which I don't give a fuck about that. But it's just you want to feel appreciated sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So for those who did come, I've already followed back. We've been communicating. I really appreciate the fact that you took the time to come over and chop it up with me and laugh. And we're going to continue to try to have dope-ass people like this to come on and just make us all look
I got
smart.
a question I want to ask on air, yo. When are we going to get our Not Safe for Ears merch? So niggas can
Real
buy
soon.
some?
Real soon.
For real?
So when I say real soon,
What we
before the
gonna
end
do?
of this year.
Okay. that's what's up.
Yeah. We got some
So
things
can you
planned.
have something for me before Christmas? So
For
I can,
free?
So I can put it under my Christmas tree for
Oh,
myself.
for free. I got something for you for free.
I'm going to get
Nah,
my daughter to make them a
Well, I'm gonna
handmade
take the free
ornament.
one, but I
Oh,
still,
everybody else going to get paid.
I'm still gonna buy one though, cause I want to support my nigga. Like it's the same way.
That's
Nigga,
definitely
nigga
You don't like this one good one, too.
I dropped $50 on a Where's Buffy hoodie and shit, and Where's Buffy ain't bought a shirt from me yet. So I'm just,
motherfuckers.
motherfucker, but I still
Ooh.
my niggas. I still love my niggas. You know what I'm saying? But I want to support, my and
appreciate it.
I want to support in a way where I can like wear it out and you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
like,
it.
it's
I'm going
important.
to have a shirt that's going to call Permanent Pause for you. We're going to make one up. It's called
Ah, if you don't do that, I'm definitely gonna do it, nigga. Like,
No, you take it.
like,
Nigga, that's your shit. That's your But no, thank you for closing us out. I ain't got nothing to closing out, but I just want to thank everybody who did come up and show love. We appreciate it. My wife appreciated it. Y'all were respectful, and we're going to set some things up. I love y'all. Now, say the thing again. You out, bitch?
No, hold on. Now I got to say thank you for all the viewers who have been tuning in regardless of the fact whether you posted our flyers or not. But we greatly appreciate everybody's support.
and drop the comments, bitch. Don't just be viewing and not commenting. Cause I'm the only one in the comment sections right now. Well, it'd be me and like one other nigga. So look, y'all need to get in these comment sections, bruh. I'm sorry.
Appreciate it. No, look, that's heartfelt. I can feel that from where I'm sitting. But look, make sure y'all just check us out, man. Continue to show support. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We thank y'all. And we out, bitch.
Holla.